What's up, y'all? It's your boy Spidey Studios here. Today I am back with another reaction for the channel. This is My Adventures with Superman Season 2, Episode 7. I don't know what the title of this episode is, and honestly it's kind of probably for the best, because I am curious. So, last episode. I have to give some shout outs to y'all because I was actually kind of surprised how well last episode did on the channel. So I probably should have prepared this. I apologize. But, so yeah, last episode currently that I did last week, which was the fastest I've ever posted an episode, by the way. So I give myself props for that because that episode was so good and I wanted to get it out as soon as possible. But last episode got 189 views at the time of this recording. 189 views. So I have to give y'all props for that. That's awesome. I appreciate you guys for checking out the channel with me and checking out the reaction. And I hope you guys are watching the show too, because it's really good. And Superman needs as much praise as needed right now. So I know you guys are probably interested on my thoughts on the Superman set leaks. Unfortunately, I have seen those. I wanted to wait until the movie came out before I gave my official opinion, but unfortunately, being on social media and being in the DC Marvel communities, it's hard not to be spoiled by stuff. So I saw the set leaks. To be honest, they look awesome. I love all of the looks for the characters. I love David Cornsweet's Superman costume and his Clark Kent disguise. I love Mr. Terrific's look. It looks ripped right out of the comics. I am curious about seeing Rick Flag Sr. apparently was also seen in set leaks as well. So he's now in 3 of the first starts of the DCU so far, DCU so far. So I'm curious what his role will be in the movie, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I like the set leaks. If there's only thing that, I do like that the Superman suit looks damn near like this. Like it looks like this just without the brighter blue colors. He even has the S shield on the cape. It's just not as big as this figure, but it's awesome. I just wish that we didn't have the collar. I feel like the collar just restricts too much of the actor's movement, but that's just me. I know some people have been shitting on it for being too baggy, but I'm pretty sure the reason they did that is intentional because it gives the actor a bit more movability to move around in the costume. Because I've heard plenty of actors have complained about superhero suits being too skin tight because it's hard to physically move around in certain suits. So I think it works out. I'm pretty sure Captain America's suit has always been baggy so that Chris Evans could move around in it. Same with with Anthony Mackie. So, I mean, maybe it just depends on the costume. But I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. I just want to see it in motion before I make a full judgment on it. But if it were me, I would change the lines on the suit, like not having any lines. But it's a movie thing, kind of have to. And the collar. But other than that, the suit itself looks great. So last week's episode is probably by far my favorite episode so far of this whole season. It was a Superman and Supergirl focused episode, and it was focused on seeing the point of view of Kara and why she's doing what she's doing and her motivations for wanting to restore Krypton and all of that. Only to find out that Kara has been mentally manipulated since she was a baby by Brainiac to destroy and wipe out planets across the cosmos for the Kryptonian Empire. And she discovered that thanks to Clark breaking her influence and giving her something she's desperately wanted, family and an actual genuine connection to somebody. And now, because of that, Kara has broken free of the mental manipulation, and Jimmy and Lois, along with the Brain and Mala, have shown up in space looking for Clark. So I'm curious as to how we're going to find Superman. I'm assuming this episode is going to be from the perspective of Lois and Jimmy, seeing how they got into space in the first place. Which, I mean, fair. I just wish we would have gotten... I just hope it doesn't last the whole episode, but I'm pretty sure it will. It's fine. We'll see how good the story is. But I really loved last week's episode. Last week's episode, by far, my favorite depiction of Supergirl so far. I've always said that my favorite interpretation of Supergirl has always been from the Superman Batman Apocalypse movie. I loved her in that movie by far, and I would say that she's my favorite depiction of her character. I've seen other good depictions from the Supergirl TV show, from the Superman Unbound movie, from her appearance, from bits and pieces I've seen from the Tomorrowverse and stuff like that. But I would like to see just a Superman Supergirl, where Supergirl gets to stick around and fleshed out again like she was in the original 90s show. Except in that she was just a recurring character that came in and out. I hope she becomes a main character in this, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But I love this Supergirl so far. This Supergirl is by far my favorite depiction of her so far, neck and neck with the Apocalypse version. So I'm curious to see where she will go moving forward from this. But I'm also curious to see how Lois, Jimmy, and their dynamic with her is going to be too. So we'll have to wait and see. But last episode, Clark was kidnapped by Brainiac and mentally manipulated to be part of his army. And Kara is now in space trying to figure out how to save Kal-El when Lois and Jimmy Mala showed up. So I'm assuming this episode we're going to see it from their perspective and how they got to that position. But I hope it doesn't last the whole episode. But then again, we'll have to see how the story plays out. If it's a good story, then I won't complain. But if it, we'll see. Like I said, I'm not going to have any prejudgments. I've loved this show so far. This show has been really well done. I've been really enjoying this season a little bit than last season. Like, I thought last season was really good too, but I felt like this season has just taken what worked from season 1 and elevated it to a newer standard so far, and I've been really enjoying it. Like I said, I'm forever grateful that we now have confirmed that this show is going to be renewed for a 3rd season, so I can't wait for that. I hope it doesn't take 2 to 3 years for it to come out, but you never know. It probably might not come out next year because of the whole Superman movie coming out, but we'll have to wait and see. But I've been really enjoying this show. The show's been really good so far, and I just hope it progresses and gets some more seasons moving forward. So without further ado, y'all, we are just going to check out this episode. So let's get started.
Superman isn't a hero. He's an invader. The vanguard of a hostile military force. But our alien problem has a human solution. The Human Defense Corps. For the protection of Metropolis. So when Superman returns, and he will return, we'll be ready for you.
Wow.
But witnesses say Superman was fighting the alien to save the city.
Metropolis would not have needed saving if Superman wasn't here in the first place.
But this station has obtained its own footage, which we're going to play.
That's classified. But thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Hey! This can't be happening. Clark's been kidnapped. Waller's trying to destroy him.
And I broke up with him.
And you did.
It doesn't matter.
Ass.
We are going to find Clark and
Protect me.
the Amazotech jump drive ship. It's still at Star Labs. We steal the ship,
Oh,
go to space, get
yeah,
Clark
they
back,
talked about it earlier.
and make it right
Are the two of us going to steal the spaceship?
by hiring someone to help us.
What the?
Wire?
Stealing stuff is her thing. Plus, she knows us.
Cause we helped Superman.
Yeah,
stop
right?
him.
She's a...
So, how do we find Livewire?
Y'all are insane, but guess
I
that's why you're
bought
Superman's people.
everything-
Okay. Oh, that's fancy.
Huh. Not what I expected, but
Yeah, that's pretty fancy.
here we go.
You.
Damn.
Isn't that Superman's?
Oh.
What could she possibly? No idea.
And I don't regret helping Superman stop you. But now,
Shut up and get to the point.
We need you to help us break into
This
Star
heat
Labs
wave
to
here.
steal a spaceship.
I'm gonna need to see more zeros.
Whatever it takes.
All his money? Bro. You wasted all your money. I mean, it's a nice place, though.
Leslie, seriously? Babe, with this money we could do anything. Okay? We could
Babe, they're together? Really?
We could have chickens. I don't want chickens. If I need it, enjoy your stupid spaceship.
He is huge.
So,
Jeez.
you and Heatwave are...
Are no longer splitting the money.
Damn.
Star Labs is tough, but not impossible. I can get us in, but we need a crew who knows their way around a spaceship, and there aren't too many of those.
So,
Okay.
I might know some people who can help us.
What?
Who?
Who?
Oh!
Malone?
How'd you call them?
I thought you went to another dimension.
Not every dimension has already its own mana and brain, which is plenty.
Oh.
Okay, we're on the clock, people.
Yo, that is...
Curfew means we have to move during daylight.
table is cool.
Luckily, that also... So,
That is
entry is a two-step process. Only those accompanied by a guard can enter the facility.
Okay.
My sources
Silver
say
Age
that the
nursing
back
home.
entrance...
Oh, that's cool. Silver
Grandma
Age.
at her nursing home
Silver Age,
on
that's cool.
47th Street every Thursday. That's where we grab his purse. When his shift ends at 5, we'll have a 30-second window before his replacement arrives.
Okay.
We'll also hack and download blueprints and manifests, which will show us the exact location of this special.
Yeah, it's what equipment they have, so we can make.
Hold on. We never said anything about modifications.
If something goes wrong, we do plan B.
What's plan B?
You're gonna have to get your hands dirty.
There's always another way.
It's your funeral. Now,
But when we find him,
We also find his evil cousin, which is why I brought this.
Wow. Youngster.
why is everyone so trigger happy? We're not going to hurt Kara.
Kara? I'm sorry, you're on a first-name basis with Clark's kidnapper? Us to save Clark, and this is how we do it.
Is it? Because you're starting to sound a lot like
what are you doing in here?
arguing.
Whatever, wrap it up.
And Clark only got to spend time with her after.
you. Well, that's kind of the point of a surprise inspection, Alex. I've been here.
He's not leaving.
He must have a double shift.
Jimmy!
Hi there. My Nana lives there too.
Huh, small world.
I visit
Oh,
every
I
week.
mean,
wish I could see
that
her.
could work.
Tell me about it. I was supposed to visit my grand today, but I got pulled into a double with no warning.
I can cover this shift.
Seriously? Oh, that'd be great, man. I owe you one, Jimmy.
I mean, that worked.
Problem?
They've increased their security encryptions. Just a moment, Fräulein. Unless operational soon meant not operational at all.
Look, I'm back engineering an alien substance into a new type of power source.
Fuck. Damn it. No.
We have a security breach. Sweep the facility.
I'm stealing one thing at a time.
Oh, wow.
Black Ops.
Leslie.
Oh, wow. That's what they did.
Blackwire! Hold the door!
Sorry, kids. Rory's wrong. I do know when to walk away.
What?
Keep up the sweep.
Oh, I
It's
mean,
not that simple.
Of course it's simple. He's an
Technically.
enemy. You take out the enemy.
Take out the enemy? You know, you are sounding an awful lot like your dad.
I am
I mean-
nothing like my father. We made it. We're getting out of here.
fuck. Why was he
I
gonna
love
leave?
him. But I got scared he wouldn't love me back the same way.
What? He literally turned down finding his cousin for you to help you find your dad. He literally prioritized you over prioritizing his own family.
Guys?
We're in trouble?
Again, no.
Time now, my legion! I'm a wolf!
Okay. What the hell is that? Oh. Yeah. Oh no!
No Superman to save us.
Live wire? Wow. Oh wow. Okay. That's cool.
You came back.
I never left. That was the plan. The real one. After I let you in,
Oh.
Rory left. To put together the actual crew. So while she was occupied with you dummies, we stole everything that wasn't bolted
Oh.
down and then some. Well, the plan was...
I'm never gonna see him again. It's all my fault.
Oh,
But
I
then we
just heard
kept hearing
that
you two
speech.
whine on and on.
Love is not for cowards.
That's right. And
Get out of here.
Wow. Fully fleshed out. But yeah. So they were going to steal all of the other equipment and the parasite stuff too. But then they were moved by her speech. Wow.
You never know when to walk away.
This was a success. At only 10% capacity, it stood up to alien tech weapons and superpowers. Whatever resources you need, they're yours.
I promise I will try to talk to Kara before punching her with kryptonite.
That's all I ask. I know we can get through to her. I saw a different side to Kara when we got ice cream.
The machine is complete! Portal opens in 3, 2...
Okay. Also, they created a portal to travel to her signal, and then they just randomly find her. Okay. So, I felt like this was a pretty solid episode. Not my favorite, but I still think it was pretty good though. Like, I actually pretty enjoyed this. I didn't know if this was going to, like, I figured it was going to be a whole episode focused on Jimmy and Lois. I figured that. But the plot was actually pretty solid. I was actually kind of surprised by that. It's interesting because it's like, when it comes to Livewire is one of those characters from Superman. She's similar to Harley Quinn, where Harley Quinn is a character that first appeared in the Batman animated series and became so beloved by the fans that she became a comic book character. Livewire was the same thing. Livewire was introduced in the Superman animated series and then became so beloved that she became a comic book character. But ever since then, she hasn't really gotten that much exposure. Like, she's been in this show, Superman the animated series, she was in Supergirl season 1, I think. But she appeared in Supergirl throughout, though. But, like, other than that, those are the only 3 things I think I've seen her in. Like, I know she's in one of those, like, kid female shows for the kids. The Supergirl kids shows. But other than that, I feel like Livewire hasn't been in that much stuff. And to be quite honest, I think this is my second favorite version of her. Because I never really liked her all that much in Supergirl. I felt like she just was missing that tenacity and that funny charm that she had in the animated series. To me, and that's still by far my favorite version of her, but I think this is a close second. I really like this version of Livewire, because, like, she's not all evil. Because I felt like Livewire in the original show wasn't all evil either. She just wanted respect and love from people, because that's all she ever really got. And in this, I feel like she's not like that character at all. She's just a typical mercenary, but at the same time, she's not completely black and white. Like, she's actually someone you can reason with, which is something I never would have thought after season 1. Like, I thought season 1 she was just a straight up mercenary, and that was it. But she's actually a character you can reason with, and that's actually pretty interesting. Her and her relationship with Heatwave is definitely not what I expected. I didn't expect her to have a relationship with Heatwave, simply just because this version of Heatwave is kind of one-dimensional. I felt like they didn't really flesh out this version of Heatwave at all for me to really believe that, A, they could be a couple, and if they could be a good couple, because I felt like Heatwave hasn't really gotten that much to do. Now, granted, Heatwave is a Flash villain. It's not a... Heatwave is a Flash villain. She's not really a Superman villain. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I find it interesting how they did this. But also, I really enjoyed the Lois and Jimmy perspective in this episode. Because obviously, they would be seeing this from 2 different perspectives. Because in episode 5, Lois just saw Kara show up and then just fight Clark. That's pretty much all she saw. She didn't know Kara from anything. She hasn't really seen her in a good light or anything. She just assumed she was evil. With Jimmy went on a whole date with her and saw her from a different point of view before she just started fighting Clark. So he has the benefit of the doubt for her, whereas Lois doesn't. Which, yeah, in this episode it feels like Lois was very much acting like her dad. She sees a Kryptonian threat without any type of recourse and just decides to just fucking, like, has to kill her. But it's like, you're gonna have to also, Clark is not, even if we're thinking of it this way, even if Jimmy had not went on that date with Kara and they both were okay with the fact that they have to take out Kara, Clark wouldn't go for that, because Clark in and of himself is a character that wants to see the best in everyone. And I think that in this episode it rubbed off on Jimmy too, where Clark always sees the best in other people, which is why he always gives people second chances all the time. Sometimes I think that's also Clark's weakness. Sometimes there are just some people that you can't give second chances to, But I don't believe that everyone is beyond saving. Like, I do think that there are some people that deserve a second chance. Because that's how most villains tend to be created in the first place. Most villains feel like they don't have any type of good outlet, or they don't have a good support system to help them from their shitty circumstances, and they just take it out on other people. And I think if you actually give a character someone that can actually see it from their point of view and actually be willing to give them a chance, I feel like most of the villains might take it. But there are just some villains that you can't really give second chances to. The Joker is one of them. Like, you can't give Joker a second chance because he just backstabs you over and over and over again. It's just not one of those characters you can really sympathize with. But I could see from this point of view, from that perspective. And it seems like how it's going to fall out. I do hope that Kara becomes a main character in this show and she and Jimmy become a thing. Because I've never really seen it before. I've seen it teased in a couple of things, but I've never actually seen them go through with it, unless it was a comic book thing. But I would like to see them do it in this show. I also would like to see how Lois is going to save Superman. But yeah, the biggest issue that I had with Lois in this episode, I don't hate Lois in the show at all. Like, I like Lois a lot. I just think that some of her reasons for getting angry or upset at Superman is kind of ridiculous sometimes. Like, her whole reason for getting mad at Superman last season for him keeping his secret identity, I can understand it because, okay, her dad used to lie to her all the time and kept secrets, and she doesn't like that. I totally get it. But not everyone's like your dad, first of all. And secondly, Clark had a very legitimate reason for not telling you everything, because he's an alien. A lot of people on Earth, whether we like it or not, aren't really fans of people that are different from them. Me being a black person, not a lot of people are fans of me. I can live with that. It is what it is. There are a lot of people who aren't fans of you because of your different nationality, your sex, gender, whatever. So I think from Clark's point of view, he feels like you're not going to accept him if you see him as something different. The only difference is that you could see him as a normal person because he looks like a normal person. But it's just interesting that Lois was pissed off at the fact that Clark kept it a secret and not the fact that he was an alien. But, I mean, it is what it is. But also, with this season, I feel like Lois, like I said, has just been dumping all of her problems onto Clark, and she feels like Clark won't love her enough. And it's just like, Clark literally was willing to put his own family business aside to help you. And it's like, you have to see it from this point of view. Clark was willing to put his journey, which was finding his cousin, who he had never met before, that he could find and not feel so lonely all the time. He was willing to put that to the side so that he could help you save your dad, who also tried to kill him multiple times last season. And it wasn't until you stepped in that your dad didn't even that your dad chose not to kill him. So you would think that you would be more sympathetic from Clark's point of view. Like, I can understand it because I feel like Lois is kind of very self-centered sometimes, where she only sees things from her point of view, and she just can't see it from someone else's point of view until someone else points it out to her. And it's like, I feel like it's ridiculous to me that I feel like Lois couldn't see it from Clark's point of view, that he's an alien. He's not like you. He may look human, he may sound human, he may act human, but he isn't. So, of course, he's going to feel different. He's going to feel like an outsider. He's going to feel like he doesn't fit in. Even if he's in a relationship with you, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to fit in any better. So, of course, he wants to find the only other person out there that understands him truly. So, the fact that Clark was willing to put that to the side to help you save your dad, who tried to murder him multiple times, you would think you would have a little bit more gratitude for that. But, I mean, it is what it is. So I'm glad that they seem to work it out. I'm glad that Lois is at least going to give Kara the benefit of the doubt. She's not going to trust her automatically, which is fine. I don't expect her to. But I do at least be willing to hear her out and hear out her point of view. So we're going to see how next episode progresses. I'm not going to see the promo because I just want it to be left open-ended. But I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to this episode. If you guys did, let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of this episode. Are you excited for next week's episode or are you not? I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video for your boy. Hit the subscribe button to be part of the community. And hit bell notifications so you guys know when I shall post next. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.